Welcome all fellow Narnians to the Razman's first specialty show / blog on the Blu-ray review for The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Right there it is. Yeah. If you've watched my past shows, you know that my number one priority, or one of my number one priorities along with Harry Potter, is to be able to get the Narnia series in full on Blu-ray. And as of Valentine's Day, that became a reality, no pun intended. So, you might be sitting there watching this and thinking to yourself, okay Raz, I love Narnia, I love you, however I came across this, I'm watching this review. But I already know what The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is about. I've already seen that movie hundreds of times. I have the DVD. I might even have the single disc, the 2-disc, and the extended version of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So why in the world would I buy the Blu-ray version? Well, we're going to delve into why, which is why this review might be more than one video. But the simplest way I can put it to start out is, from now on, when anyone asks me, why should I upgrade to HD at all if I don't have it? The answer that I'm going to give, beyond any shadow of a doubt, is to take your favorite movies and see them in the way they were meant to be seen. Watching The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe Blu-ray reminded me that HD's true selling point is the fact that the high quality picture, 1080p full HD picture, and up to 7.1 surround sound, in my case 5.1 because I only have 5 speakers, but the high quality picture combined with the surround sound brings a movie to life like it's never been brought to life before. And that is why you need to see Narnia on Blu-ray, because that's the way that a movie like Narnia, a fantasy movie that's all about special effects, or any movie for that matter, even if it's a romantic comedy, that's what HD does that nothing else can do, and that's bring it to life. But in the particular case of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, let me just give you a few examples, whatever we can cover in the amount of time we have for what may be this part 1 of this review. Let me just give you a few examples of what I'm talking about here. Example number 1 is Lantern Waste. Lucy entering the wardrobe for the first time, stepping into Narnia and meeting the beloved fawn, Mr. Tumnus. What you see when you see this scene is the snow sticking to Lucy's hair, and realizing that she is being embedded by snow. You escape into the fact that you are now part of a winter wonderland. Always had trouble getting those 2 words out, sorry. But you're in a winter wonderland. And then you see the mystical fawn, Tumnus, the guy who was C.S. Lewis's not lone, but biggest inspiration, without a doubt, for the creation of the beloved Narnia franchise. And you see him in the way that you pictured him in your head. We all know that as fans of fantasy, we have some of the greatest imaginations that mankind has ever known. So we all, upon reading Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the book, had formulated a picture of Tumnus in our heads, and we were going to be very critical first time we saw Tumnus on screen. That's how I felt, because although I'd seen the bonus features on both the 2-disc special edition DVD and the 4-disc extended edition DVD, and knew about the time that they took into James and his costume with Tumnus, although I had seen that, I was still critical of it because Tumnus didn't seem to jump off the screen to me in the way that he should until I saw the Blu-ray, because what I saw was very, very defined horns in HD on the top of his head and hair all over his body. His smile, that little goatee beard that he surely also rocks, everything about Tumnus just jumped out at me. And at that point, I no longer felt like I was watching a movie that was set during World War II times and watching a story of children that were taken away to live in a stranger's house. But instead, I was watching the 4 lucky Penalties who had found the mystical land of Narnia. I truly felt like I had stepped into the pages of this epic fantasy. And it doesn't stop there. It happened right before this even, when Lucy revealed the wardrobe. We all know in the film, slightly different from the book, but actually created a better effect. In the film, the wardrobe was covered up by a huge sheet, and Lucy pulls it down and uncovers it. Well, we know from either listening to the commentary or seeing the bonus features on the film or both, that the wardrobe was home to carvings of the magician's nephew, which of course is the professor's story, aka the story of the creation of Narnia. We all knew that those were there, but could we really see them? No. You had to have a magnifying glass, probably the size of a Smithsonian telescope, to really be able to see the carvings. Even on the bonus feature close-up shots, you really don't see too much of them. You can't fully appreciate the detail. But immediately when I popped the Blu-ray in, I saw that detail. I saw it in all its glory. And I just was in absolute awe of the craftsmanship that went into these magician carvings alone. And I knew that Lantern Waste, as I just talked about, was right after that. I was like, I was just getting chills all over. This is what Narnia is supposed to be. Example number 3. The beavers. The beaver's cave. It was tremendous. Everything in there looks like it's been sawed off by beavers. Again, I know that I'm repeating some of the things that were said in the commentary and the bonus features, and it sounds like I'm just spewing off what other people have said, but that's honestly not my intention here. I'm speaking as a Narnia fan who really feels like he saw and noticed these things for the first time. Everything in this little house, this little hut, looked like it had been sawed off by beavers. It didn't look like it had been done with a human saw or built by humans in any way, shape, or form. It is tremendous. It brought a tear to my eye. And this was actually one of the few times that I was somewhat critical now that I'd seen this detail, because it made me think of back to the book and how the beavers actually present the Pevensies with a full feast, a human style feast, and they all feast and eat. And although the wood chips and the frozen fish is a nice joke because they're beavers, I don't think that was a necessary thing for Andrew Adams and a crew to do. I think they could have stuck into the book, at least in that perspective. But the beaver's hut was just awe-inspiring.